Hello, I'm back and I keep forgetting to record my progress, so here I am. I'm just gonna see if I can talk a little bit about what I was working on. And still, I'm trying to get over this sickness. Oh my goodness. But, so I did get my cards, textures, and card faces and all that working in game. However, I did run into problems like stuttering and, you know, it felt like something was loading in the background, and whenever you try to play the game, it would be like slow and choppy whenever that would happen. So, whenever I asked the AI chatbots, they just told me that, I'd have to don't just add textures to your game, you gotta prepare them and, you know, convert them to Power Up 2. They work better for the GPU RAM as well as the game engine itself. And, don't load everything during the game, especially if not using them all. So just do soft referencing as well as asynchronous loading. Asynchronous loading is when you don't load everything in the game that exists. You just only load whatever the seeker will see whenever the seeker will see it. Don't load it everything at once, all at once. And yeah, using dynamic material instances is also a little bit, well, I don't know if it's more efficient or anything, but I mean, it could be. I don't remember. But anyways, let me go in and test it. Actually, let me see from here. If I just go, you can see the detail. If I zoom into this wall, you can see all the porous, details of the wall and stuff like that. This is the ceiling. Let me go to the floor. You can see all those details when you get close, okay? And so what happens it causes a texture streaming pool error, and it bogs down the system in the memory because it has to upload that into the video RAM. And remember, this is not a AAA game. This is like a minus F. I don't care. So long as it can run on my old system and on other people's old computer system. All right. So it doesn't need to be high detail whenever you get so close, not only to these walls and other props of the 3D world, but to the monster itself. Every time the monster catches you, you have like lag and choppiness, and that's just, uh, you know, it could be bad because then you have a chance to run away, but you're laggy and you can't tell because the monster is making your rendering all choppy and laggy. So that's another thing I need to work on. So I did kind of sort of finish the cards, right? Not, yeah, they are finished, and it's so much better when I playtest now. So let me see if I can try to playtest now. Right. So I got the cards now to spawn. Let me type in stat FPS, and it's kind of decent, but not on this map. This is why I want to work on this map. You can see the title is Retro Texture Prep. So what I was going to say is that for the cards now, they work perfectly since I've converted them in the last video. Power of 2 textures. In that video, I converted all the cards to Power of 2. I converted them from hard references to soft references, and then used asynchronous loading as well as finally added dynamic material instances to them. So usually those dynamic material instances are supposed to be a little bit better because they don't have too many draw calls, and I don't know if that's the case, but really, I'm using now, instead of the hundreds of blueprint actors for each and every single one of the cards, I just have one main blueprint called BP Cosmic Card, and one, instead of, again, hundreds of different material instances. Oops, the monster's coming. Instead of hundreds of different material instances and materials, I just have one master material for all of the cards. So that really reduced the lag and choppiness and the memory hogginess. So now it's so much more efficient. But what's causing these low frames per second on this one? Well, I say low, it's still pretty high. 90 and 100 is high. But on the other map, the derelict spaceship, that one has much higher, like 110 to 120 frames per second. Because these specific textures and other riffs have very high quality, what do we call it? They have high quality textures. So again, as the AI chatbot says, the rule is whenever you upload anything with textures, you have to do texture prepping on those textures first. So making sure they abide by the power of two rule, and you make sure that they are in the correct texture group and MIP generation settings and all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff that you can do in the property matrix. So let me stop this. And so with the cards, I don't need to do the cards anymore. So here I am at the derelict quarter in the fab. Now you go into Windows and you go into fab. Alright, so I'm using, this was the textures that I was just playtesting in right now. They colored theirs green, but the ones that default are this dark orange color. But this is the same one. And I'm here because, oh, now here you can see the orange, and they really modified the texture to make it look all worn and torn. And they add some graffiti on the walls and some different colors. But these are the same doors and all that kind of stuff. So, oops, this is the same one. Wow, go okay there, and it's made by Quixel Megascans, and Quixel Megascans. Their textures are always really high quality, like 4K by 4K. I was trying to look for where it says that, but it doesn't. And so my point really is that whenever you go and download these projects, go to these projects and see, oh, how cool they are. They have to make them high quality so that you're interested in them. So when you actually get them and add them to your library and use them in your game, like me, they're already really high quality. So you got to do texture prep on them to like reduce them. In my case, I don't need 4K by 4K textures. So let me go back and open up these walls and all that kind of stuff. This is Rift 3, so I need to open Proc Halls 3. And in there I need to look for the texture. So I picked the wall. In here are the materials it uses. And luckily for me, they're using both the same one, Walls 02. So I can just click on that. And then down here, just look for any of the textures. So it's using walls. So I can go directly here and adjust them, but I can also just go to walls and look at them here. But what we really need is this, because that's what the actual 3D mesh is using inside the actual thing that you see Okay, this is interesting. Alright, so did I... Oh, okay. So I don't know what happened. I just loaded the materials and now it's giving me an error message. Let's see what it says. No texture sample parameter 2D. Parameter 2D sampler requires virtual texture. Attribute error on property base color and property specular. Okay, so turns out when I open this, I don't remember messing with this. I just opened it to look at it. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. We click on this. Click on this. No, we don't click on that. We just go down to here and we change it to say virtual texture. Um, Let's look at this first. What is this error? Node make material attributes error on property roughness. And maybe it just needs... Yeah, that is so weird. All I did was just load it and... The current material has the following compilation errors. Okay. Put it back. And see what happened to this material. Make material attributes. Has this error. Sampler requires a virtual texture. Let's look at that sampler. Virtual texture. So I need to change something to virtual texture. It might be a... Right now it's set to virtual color, so maybe try virtual normal. At shader platform PCD 3D SM6. Are you sure you wish to continue? Du, du, du. Okay, so this is interesting. I don't think I ran into this problem before. It's albedo. Bum, bum, bum. Now these textures are 2K by 2K. What does this say? Right here. red albedo and albedo map as invalid return texture. Fab, megascan, surfaces, wall, T, concrete, fresh, 01, BT, wall, concrete, fresh, 01B. Sampler requires virtual texture. I never asked that before. And now it's asking for that, so maybe says here VT for virtual texture. And okay. Dun, dun, dun. Nope, this doesn't do anything. Shader platform PC D3D SM6. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened all of a sudden. So it looks like I'm going to have to try to does it have a way to copy that? No, unfortunately. So I have to. I'm going to have to ask the AI chatbots. Let me see. It says, what does it say? The error says the current material has the following compilation error. Actually, let me do this. The current material has the following compilation error. At shader platform warning, compilation errors in this material. At shader platform PC D3D SM6. Shader platform at shader platform PC D3D SM6. Okay, so the material was really fine this whole time. What? There was another error. It says the texture sample requires virtual texture. Do 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 do. Needs requires virtual texture. All right, so let me see what the AI chatbots say. Hopefully they can help me fix this because it's so weird. It's been running fine this whole time. Maybe this invisible problem was what was causing the game to be laggy and well, anyways, for the FPS to fall, instead of being like around 120 or so, it just fell to like 90 or something. But it's worse than that. In game, this one is just in the editor, but in testing, the frames per second falls even further. It falls to like only 24 to 40 frames per second, which is really bad. That's really slow. Nothing is corrupted. You just triggered a virtual texture mismatch. Let's break it down cleanly. A virtual texture mismatch. But it does say nothing was corrupted, so hopefully this is fixable. I mean, it should be, because like I didn't even do anything other than open it up. Wonder if something was changed somewhere else that it messes with this one. This material, or this, well, maybe not texture, but this material. What actually happened, your error, at shader platform PCD3D SM6 texture sample requires virtual texture. This means your material is trying to sample a virtual texture, but the texture sample node in the material is set to regular texture mode. Regular texture mode, are you sure? MIP level, MIP bias derivative. Really? Okay, let me go back. Why you open the material, Unreal recompiled it for you. Oh, when you open it, shader model 6 DirectX 12, during that compile and enforce strict type checking, and it found this texture asset is marked as virtual texture, but this material node is not expecting one, so it failed compilation gray checkerboard. Why this happens? Somewhere along the way, either you enabled virtual texture streaming in project settings, or you right-click textures and chose convert to virtual texture. Marketplace asset already used virtual, or the marketplace asset already used virtual textures. So if I go to this, right-click. Okay, let me see if I go back here. Create virtual texture. Creates a new volume texture using this texture. Create material. Alright. Now the texture asset itself is marked. Virtual texture streaming enabled. That changes its internal type. It is no longer a regular texture 2D. It becomes a virtual texture 2D. And materials must explicitly use a virtual texture sample node to read those. How to confirm? Open the problematic wall texture. Look for virtual texture streaming. If it is checked, that's your problem. The problematic texture itself. Virtual. It is not checked. That's your problem. Solution option 1 recommended. Disable virtual texture on that texture if you're not intentionally using runtime virtual texturing. Open the wall texture asset, uncheck it. Save, go back to the material, click apply. It should compile instantly. Convert material to use virtual texture sample. Only do this if you want virtual textures. If in the material, delete the regular texture sample node. Add runtime virtual texture sample. Runtime virtual texture sample. The heck is this? Plug texture into that. But unless you're using large landscapes, runtime virtual texture blending, advanced terrain system, you probably don't need this. Why it worked before, the compiled shader cache was still valid. Unreal wasn't forced to recompile it. Opening the material forced full shader recompile. Strict validation failures is common. So check project settings, rendering virtual textures. Project settings. Virtual textures. Virtual texture. Where is virtual textures? Under rendering. Virtual. Enable virtual texture support. Go to project settings, rendering virtual textures. Enable virtual texture support is checked. If that is, but you are not intentionally using it, you may want to disable it to avoid future confusion. Restart editor after changing. It's not checked. So I need to change this. About shader model 6. This is just DirectX 12 shader model 6. It is stricter than SM5. It catches mismatched texture types more aggressively. Nothing is wrong with SM6. It just exposed the mismatch. Why this matters performance-wise. Virtual textures pros. Great for massive landscapes. Good for very large worlds. Good for tiled mega textures. Cons. It's more complex. More shader instructions. Not necessary for small interiors. For your rift walls, regular textures are perfectly fine. What I would do in your project, given your current optimization phase, disable virtual texture streaming. There's regular texture streaming, but not virtual texture streaming. Keep using normal texture 2D sampling. Focus on proper MIP control and texture size budgeting. Virtual texturing is powerful, but it's not a fix for streaming pool problems and small dungeon-style rooms. Your wall texture asset is marked as virtual texture. Your material is using a regular texture sample. Shader model 6 refuses to compile that mismatch. Uncheck virtual texture streaming on the texture. That's it. It is unchecked, but it's still giving me the error. See, right here it says virtual texture streaming is not checked. If it still errors after that, tell me, is this material using any layered material functions? Is it part of a material instance chain? Did you convert multiple textures to virtual earlier? Alright, so I have to now go into a full-blown conversation with this thing. Oh my goodness. Yikes. I really just want, what did I want to do originally? Oh, actually, no, this kind of works. So I wanted to retro texture prep, right? Meaning I wanted to go back into the textures that I am using, which is the monsters and the walls and floors, and change them and convert them to prepare them for better optimized textures in game. Just like what happened with my cosmic cards, I was able to fix that, and now my game runs nicely. Except for now, when I check the walls, they're giving me this problem. So yeah, do need to be here. This is part of the retro texture prepping, is to find out whether or not I'm using the, like in this case, I'm not. It is using Power of 2, but it's using some texture size that I don't need, which is 2K. I only need a max texture size of like 512. So hit enter, save that. Anyways, going back to virtual, it's not. Okay, so again, let me go back to this. That from texture asset. This one. Don't know why it says virtual texture there. I'm not using virtual textures. Actually, undo that. Don't need to delete it. Just disconnect it from here. And from anything else. Ah. That one is the virtual texture one. Now let me go to the next one. Albedo map. I'll call this one looks like texture came back. Looks like it might be fine. It compiled immediately. So it's not a virtual texture anymore, it's just regular. Let me see. This one I will just rename. SVT. Move this one out of the way, put this one there. Apply. Save. Okay, now everything, the walls come back, but that is so weird. Might have to do that for all the other textures. But anyways, this one is the other one. Let me move this out of the way. Apply. Save. Now this is a material instance. Save. There's a height map in here somewhere. Hopefully, even more. Gosh darn it. All of these things are using virtual textures I don't want to use. But for some reason, it's like, oh, it's not connecting to anything anyway, so maybe that's why it's not flagging these virtual textures. The VT at the bottom right here, I guess the others were connected, and so, no, not even this is not connected to anything, and yet, oh, it's the final output, so I guess it just goes here automatically. So it is connected to the base color. And then that is connected somehow to this. I don't know about materials. Oh my gosh. So complex. But anyhow. Let me look at the textures. And max texture size is 512. This one is yikes. You are kidding me. Maybe this is why I was having so much problems with this before I even added the cosmic cards. From texture asset, alpha instead of virtual alpha, just regular alpha. And break this node. Let's move it aside. It's for the displacement. Let's see. But even before that, so the cool thing about this, is that look at the detail. I really don't need that much detail in my game anyways. Let's see, max texture. We can set this to 512 because I think a value of 0 means the maximum size for the format on each platform. Is, I guess, whatever, like 2048. So this really significantly reduces the resource size. Let me go ahead and save that. Concrete fresh 01. Concrete fresh 01B requires sampler requires virtual texture. It shouldn't, not anymore. Where does it say it needs that? Alright, so what? Oh my gosh. This thing needs a virtual texture too? It's just a color. Alright, anything else that I need to change? Maybe this here? The normal and the fresh. Yeah, let me go back and see. Did have a conversation with the what do we call it? The AI chatbots about how to texture prep these materials that are for walls and floors and ceilings and stuff like that, and doors. Not for cards. Cards are different. They could be more set to like UI settings, but then when you work with the walls in the 3D world, you want them to be able to utilize level of detailed stuff like how far the textures show up in the walls, or how close. So those need different settings on their textures. So let me see what the conversation was. Let me see if I can scroll up and see what they said. All right, I need to drink some water. All right, so oh no, I'm using my backup system, and it's pretty slow. This is why I don't want this. I don't need this game to be AAA. It could be F minus for all I can, so long as it runs and it plays on my backup, my old system. Let me see. So, what it says to do: change the LOD bias to 2, cuts resolution to 1/4. LOD bias, where is that? Oh, I seen it right here. Here it is. So instead of 0, a bias of the to the index of the top MIP level to use. That is, number of MIP levels to drop when cooking. So, LOD bias of 1 behaves like a 1024. LOD bias of 2 behaves like 512. So we want 2. Save that. LOD bias of 2. It's even smaller. Oh my goodness. But let me see, how does that look in game? looks, you know what? I don't know. Let me rebuild. Maybe it needs to rebuild the textures or something. What it says here, builds all levels. It pre-computes lighting data and visibility data, generates navigation networks, and updates brush models. This action is not available while Plane Editor is active. Static lighting is disabled in the project or when previewing less than the shader model 5. Okay, pre-compute static visibility, build geometry, build paths, build texture streaming runtime virtual textures, landscape, map check. Okay, so let's just do this and test it again. And if I go really close to this, so it looks good far away, but when you get close, like with this door, you can see the details. But with the walls, actually, it looks decent still. Yeah. The frames per second. Drop down though. Don't know why. Oh, the monster's coming. So yeah, this is good. It seems like it runs a little bit better. So let me see these. I'm guessing this is like height map. H for height map, B for base color, N for normal, 0RM. What is that for? Reflection map. Ambient. I don't know. But let me do this. Go into asset actions, edit selection and property matrix. So get rid of this one, get rid of that one. I need compression. Settings, map load options, availability GPU, sRGB. Definitely need sRGB, so I don't know why this is not set to sRGB. Virtual texture streaming. Turn it off. You gotta be kidding me. We have to do this for each and one. Okay, that's fine. That's what we're here for. We're going to go open that up. Call this one I simply just want to name. Okay. VT, and this one convert to parameter, call it normal map. Move this here. Move this to here. Break this one. Move this out of the way. from texture. Alright, apply that. Save it. And then go to the next one. This one. 0 RM. ORM, I guess, is roughness. So let's do that. See. Shared wrap. Masks. Here. G goes to base here. Break this one. Goes back here. Apply. We see is, we'll call this there's a way to change the name. Don't simply just don't know. You gotta be kidding me. How do I change the name here? You know what? Forget it. I'll just do it this way. Come on. I just need to change the name, people. Jesus. It's not letting me change. Oh, gosh, you gotta be kidding me. My goodness. This one needs shared wrap masks. Masks? Let's just leave it. G and UV. Okay. That back there. Shared wrap mask, this and that. Okay. Red roughness. Yeah. Apply that. Okay. What is going on? Why doesn't it not let me select this? Never stream, correct. Virtual texture stream is off. How do we go to the actual texture itself? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. Apparently can't. Should be linear color. Should be linear color. Eh. Oh, this is ridiculous. Now it wants me to change it back. Okay, guess what? No, I'm going to do it this way. Error property. Sampler type is linear color, should be color. Alright. sRGB. Save that. Close it. Close this one. Okay, so for some reason it's not letting me. There's something that's preventing it. Wonder why. No sRGB on some of them, that's why. Okay, interesting. Well, masks, no sRGB. Compression settings for this, normal BC5. Normal map BC5. Compression settings for this, alpha. No sRGB. Okay. And this one, base color, compression settings, default. Yeah. I guess that's it. Max texture size is 512, LEDs 2. Max texture size. LED 2. Max texture size 512. Little detail bias 2. It makes the resource size even smaller, like 21K instead of, something really high. Max texture size 512, LOD 2. This one is at 11. 21. 11. And 11. Alright. So what does this say? Project Limna Vertigo failed to compile material for platform. Default material will be used in game. Alright, so let me switch this one back then to color. Apply. Switch this one back to color. Apply. Alright, let me see all these textures. Should be color for derelict, corridor, base color. Mega scans. So this is kind of weird how it's doesn't seem like there's an error. Then why doesn't it show? Well, maybe let's see if they turn this off. But this doesn't come back. Something requires a virtual texture. There's still more of these that require virtual textures. Let me see. I wonder if these are the same. Oh yeah, these are the same. Normal height, normal base, and roughness requires virtual texture. I'm not using virtual textures in my game, so why does it keep saying that? Let me see if we look at the others. There's a lot of other virtual textures in here. Yikes. There's so much. It's this one. These. Let me see. Virtual. This one is already tiny. Don't need to mess with this one. But at the same time, we don't need this to be a virtual texture. Wall paint mask. Max texture size 512. 2. Guess I'll just do this. Let me see. Open this. And this. Apparently they're all the same. Max texture size 512. Let me grab this. move it into here. Call this red normal. Shoot. It's not letting me. Oh, I have to convert it first. Red, normal. Shared wrap. Normal. Connect that. Connect that. And for this one, actually, let me see. Yeah, red normal. Bring this into here. Change these virtual textures to just normal textures. Shared clamp. Normal. UV. And RGBs into B. Like that. Let's see. And be right back. Hopefully changing these, because I'm not using virtual textures, so I don't know why. This was working before with virtual textures, but hopefully changing this back to normal textures, I guess, will maybe make this work more optimized and not reduce the frames per second. I don't know. Let me see. Now this one here, let me grab this. This one is called Blue Normal. That's not right. I think I gotta convert it to a parameter first. Green normal. Shared clamp. Virtual just regular normal, but blue normal. So it doesn't have anything connected there. Connects there. Shared clamp. Normal. Dang, I don't know what happened. Just completely doesn't work anymore. Do I have to reload the game? Or the project? Okay, so let me see. 512 to 512 to 512 and 2, 512 and 2, 512 and 2. And that one's already tiny. Alright, what else needs the virtual textures updated to just normal textures? This one is already changed. This one was never a virtual texture. Right. There are these ones here that looks like they need to be adjusted. So let me adjust these. Green albedo. Wait a second. Is this already a virtual texture? No. What happened? This is already a virtual texture. When I open this up, it doesn't show that virtual texture streaming is checked. Bum bum bum. Maybe it is already naturally a virtual texture. This one says at the bottom right corner, virtual texture, so I'm guessing this one's already a virtual texture. Let me see, virtual, no. How is it a virtual texture then? Oop, I guess it changed to not being a virtual texture anymore. It doesn't have the VT at the bottom anymore. Weird. Anyways, these are just decals and stuff. Change those later. But let me see if I click on this. Yeah, it's this one. Just this right here, but it's not a virtual texture. Yeah. Anyways, click on this. There, decal mask. G. It. Shared clamp. Color. Here goes to there. And then the alpha goes to here. This one. Green albedo. Albedo. Shared clamp. Color. RGB goes to here. UV comes from here. Disconnect this. Let's just move this one aside somewhere over there. Alright. So we got replace virtual textures with regular textures. What is this one? Oops. Open this. Say max texture is 512. Low detail bias 2. That's really tiny, but still. This reduces the size. Alright, what else? That's that one. 512. 2. 512 and 2 is already there. 512 and 2. Alright, so got all that. Okay. So, yikes. I didn't pay attention. So it's this one. Convert to, I mean, it's already just texture sample. So you don't need to change anything, you just simply take this, take this here, apply linear color, yeah, just disconnect this one, move this, yeah, just leave it right there. Okay, it looks like those. Go down to this decal mask 3. Oh, I see. Decal. Oh, okay. It does work that way. It's really tiny, but to reduce the size, this sample source is shared clamp, color, decal mask B. Decal mask B. So UV comes from here, and the alpha goes here. Oops, why did this do that? Just color. Alright, what is the next? That one there. Blue albedo. See if I can move it up like that. Apparently it's the same one. But you call it something else. Blue albedo convert to parameter. Blue albedo. Parameter 2. From texture asset. Color. The red goes all the way down here. This alpha goes to RGB there. This one goes there. Got color from texture asset. Alright, apply. Alright, anything more? Bum, bum, bum. Probably need to convert this. height map. Like that. From texture asset. All this alpha. Okay. Normal map. Apparently this still needs one. It's called roughness. Convert to parameter. UV goes here. The green goes here. From texture asset, mask. That's fine. I think I got rid of all of the virtual textures, or changed them all to regular textures. But still, oh, there. Okay, everything went back. They just kind of look dull, but they're better than. Yeah, they don't look as detailed, but at least it won't bow down the system. The lower quality makes it more fuzzy looking, or yeah. Suppose it still looks decent though. Hopefully that's just for in editor, and hopefully the monster's around here somewhere. Oh, he took off. Alright, so frames per second is about 80 to 90. Alright, so what is this? Floors and walls. Floors and ceilings. So let me see. What else can we modify? We have these set. Okay, we got the roughness and all of this back. Yeah, it looks like everything I converted from virtual textures back to, not back to, but when I first downloaded this, I guess everything was already virtual textures, but now I just converted it to normal, I guess, or non-virtual, if anything. Warning, red albedo samples. Linear color. Red albedo samples. I'm going to close this. Red albedo samples. Not here. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's just the color red. It's not an actual like texture or anything. Alright, so far as I know, these are reduced 512 to LED 2. So it doesn't look as detailed as before, but hopefully it'll run more smoothly on my old PC. And anybody else who has an older PC. But it should still look decent. This is not connected. This is connected. Okay. Red albedo. Where is red albedo? Red albedo. It was saying it needs what? Warning, red albedo samples. Red albedo samples as linear color. Yes, that's correct. Is it supposed to just be regular color? Albedo tint. Virtual texture. Oh, it should just be color, not linear color. No, looks like it does need linear color. Right. Project settings for this, virtual textures. Where am I? Go down to rendering. Virtual textures is off. Save. Close that. Close this. Let me look at it again, actually. Dun dun dun. So many errors in this. Don't know why it says it requires virtual textures. I don't. Albedo map VT. Do I just have to delete these so that it doesn't reference these anymore? But I thought they were discarded if they're not connected to anything. this. Let's see. Delete it. It still gives us the albedo map VT has invalid textures. Error. Weird. Warning, albedo, red albedo samples color as color. Okay, you know what? All of this, just gonna leave it. This one works fine. It'll probably bite me in the ass later. But let's just leave this for now. Okay, so that was the walls. Right. Let me look at this wall. I think I overdid it with the 512 and level of detail bias too, but see if we get close. Because now it looks blur. It looks blurry when you get close. Let me see. Dun dun dun. That might be way too bad. Let me see. If I okay, I'm just gonna compile. So I'm sacrificing a lot of quality for performance. Because, I mean, all I wanted to do was just fix the stuttering and choppiness and the background loading. But I really reduced the image quality to be very blurry and bad now. See if we rebuild. Save it. Dun, 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 dun. Where are we? And we could close Fab. Wanted to see. Let's close that. Save it. Run it. Okay, let me try to run it here. As a standalone. If I do that, I'd have to set up the OBS so that you can see. So let me see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna load. Let me go ahead and see if I can. Dun, 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 dun. Where is OBS? Play test. Oh my goodness, I don't know which one it is. Is it this one? It's the editor. Okay, here it is, you guys. So let me see if I can transition. So that's what it looks like as a standalone. With the textures on the wall. Very you know, blurry, and I think I overdid it with the reducing the sizes and stuff of the image. Let me go ahead and run around in here. Is there a way I can... Oh yeah. But at least it's 160 frames per second, which is... yeesh. Kinda looks okay, peripheral vision, but when you directly look at it, it's not the best. I mean, I guess for better frames per second, I guess, you know. Maybe we can make it a setting in the settings options so that players who want lower quality can change it to this blurrier look, and then players who have higher end PCs can keep it at higher quality so that you can see the detail of the walls, and their frames per second won't be that bad, I guess. The door is very detailed. The wall ceilings, I don't know, maybe I changed the ceilings. So in this standalone, something's up with the lighting. You can see that the flashlight doesn't have its like its waves of like shadow and light, and then on the whenever you shine stuff on the walls, it doesn't it looks very bright, and it doesn't look correct. Look at the walls and ceilings, how they connect. Doesn't look. So this is just a standalone version, so test version. So maybe it'll be different in the actual package project. I think the monster's here somewhere. Let me see if I can. He took off. Seems to be running at 160 frames per second still, so that's pretty good. I mean, I guess it looks decent, but, you know, so it runs decent. It runs nice and smooth for me anyways. I don't know how it looks like on the stream, but performance-wise, it's really nice. It's very high performance here. And you can see the frames per second is pretty high. Up in the upper right corner. Except, yeah, it does look... the walls don't look as detailed as before. They look like they blend in and they just merge and blur together. Like from the orange to the yellow. Monster? Is he here? Either he's here or he's on another level. Here is droning sound getting louder. Okay, now it's soft again. Alright. Go up. Textures of the stairs. If I go close, the frames per second still stays the same, so that's pretty good. Are there any cards here? Whoa! See if I can hide before he catches me. I think he went upstairs. So even though this is a standalone test environment, this is not how it's going to look in the package project or the packaged results, because the lighting is all wrong. It's not how I set that up. But it runs smoothly. Then again, this is just the test environment. I suppose I can do the packaged environment, but that would mean I would have to wait for it to compile and render that whole and package everything. It takes a while. It's not choppy, it's not laggy, it's not stuttery. It's very smooth. It runs nicely, smoothly. Like when I first started creating this, I only had the one level and everything was so smooth and ran so smoothly. Then I started adding levels and more textures. Started to get crazy. I don't know where this guy is. I'm just gonna run. Hopefully I don't run into him. See what's down here. I still haven't found any cards. Just wanna see. Show you the cards. I kind of finished the cards, sort of, not really. I still need to get rid of the padding around the cards. They look like they're boxed in with weird borders. And then I also need to add the rarities to the logic. I mean, the logic is there already for rarities. It's just I need to add it into complete that logic so that it actually does pick, you know, epics and legendaries. I mean, I guess the walls look decent still, but then again, this is, you know, I don't want to test it here. I want to test it in the actual standalone executable, not in this test environment. I just realized I didn't eat. I need to go eat. I don't know where that monster is, but he can't be down here. At least I don't think so. Let's see what's down in here. I know I said that the last time with the other mouse, and he turned the corner and killed me. So, alright, I need one last lane to check. Anything? No. And so that's a good thing, because it's really random where these cards spawn. I wonder if they even spawn at all. I don't remember paying attention to it. I think they do. Okay. Well, now I'm going to have to look through. I was going to stop, but now I need to find out where these cards are. Okay, so that's deck 0, 0.5, deck 1, 1.5, deck 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5. We should finally get into the actual. There we go. So let's see if there are any cards here. The performance is really nice. It's very smooth. Okay, here's a card. As you can see, the black borders. This one is the star. So if I pick it up, it should say the star in the upper left corner, inventory UI. And it does. And it shows, yeah, it shows the star icon image. Okay. Okay, so that works. So that's what I was saying earlier. I fixed, so from the last video stream, I was working on the power of 2 textures, and then when I finished that and went offline, I just completed the connecting blueprint logic, and so that's why whenever I picked up this star card, it showed up correctly in the inventory as the star name and the star icon, image icon. And it runs smoothly, not like before. Whenever I play tested before, it was, it was very choppy, stuttering. It's because it was loading all 78 cards, even though the game only loads pick 6. It was still loading all 78. So 2 of Terra. Does it say 2 of Terra? Yes, it says 2 of Terra, and it shows the 2 of Terra card. So let's look for. We only need to pick up 3 cards. Oh, there's a monster. Oh, shoot! Okay. Just heard the monster. And he just popped up around the corner. So. I'm not sure why this reset. Oh, I think I know why. Because I deleted everything, and so it resets it back to. It resets these numbers back to default. So fail rate 100%. So this was the first game from that reset, and got 100% fail rate. So let me test it like this without quitting. So I need to test to see what the other map does. Uh-oh. Does this button even work? It still seems to be running at 166 frames per second. If I get close... Oh, not this monster. But it looks like it still loaded the card, so... Yeah, this is the Whisper. He was nearby. Oh, he's nearby somewhere, because you can hear his footsteps. If you hear his footsteps, not just his whispers, he's really, really close. But if you just hear his whispers, you could be a little bit safe. It's his footsteps you gotta worry about, because that means he's really, really close. The performance feels fine. Oh my gosh. Some of those whispers are freaky. You know, so I don't know, on stream it probably doesn't look as smooth, but as I'm playtesting it right now, it's much smoother now than it was before, whenever I didn't optimize the textures and the cards. However, these textures I didn't mess with yet, but they seem to be fine because they're running at 166 frames per second. And I don't feel any stuttering, like the game is trying to load something in the background and taking forever doing it, making the game itself slow and choppy, which is what happened before with the Cosmic cards. And now that I've optimized those, it runs smoothly. Oh my gosh, this bus. And he took off. I need to hurry up before he comes back. Did I pick up anything? No. I guess it was... Oh yeah, that... Gosh. No. I can hear his footsteps. It means he's much closer. He's really around here. He's not leaving. I'm gonna have to make a run for it because he's somewhere probably up in the upper levels, because I can still hear his footsteps. Usually You can't. You just hear the whispers, but not the footsteps. I'm gonna make a run for it. I'm probably not here. I'm gonna try to run to the other side, away from him. He's hanging out on that side of the rift for some reason, so let me see, where can I go? I haven't found any cards yet. Maybe I can go all the way to the bottom. Oh, here this is the bottom. I'm gonna look through these rooms. So I don't know, on stream it doesn't look choppy, but I don't know if you can tell. This is running really smoothly for me. In the upper right corner you should see the frames per second. It's at 166, so it's decent. It's not decent, it's really good. Usually you just want to aim for 60 frames per second at least, but mine is at the same frames per second as my monitor's refresh rate, which is 166. Alright, so we found the first card, the Hierophant. If we pick it up, it should say in the upper left corner the Hierophant. And it should show this icon in black and white. This image in black and white as its icon. Alright, nice. It says the Hierophant and it shows that picture. Perfect. So you see I already set all of that up nicely. I mean, it was already set up. Remember, before I did the Power of 2 textures, I just had to convert the textures to Power of 2, and then I just had to change some of the variables. Let me see. So this card is 2 of Aria, and you can see the black padding around. I need to get rid of that, but I'll do that later. Also, I need to add in the rarities, like, you know, epic and legendary cards. This one right here is just a regular rare, but again, if I pick this up, in the upper left corner it should say 2 of Aria with the picture, and that's correct. So it's 2 of Aria. Where's this monster? I can hear the monster. Should run away. Alright, so I don't know if the monster was that way or what, but I'm heading this way, away from the monster sounds. Oh! Dang it. He's fast. He's still caught up to me. I didn't even know where he was. It's probably just like the floor above. Alright. So, frames per second on this UI widget is, I don't know. I guess that's how that's supposed to be. Let me test one more. Let's see if this... Oh, this place again. And we can see in the upper left corner that the cards are spawning. So that's good. And then... Interesting, it says preparing shaders. But it still felt smooth. It didn't feel like before where it was stuttering and choppy and laggy, and it felt like something was loading in the background. But now it's just like instant and smooth. So that's good. By preparing all these textures, it really made a difference in the performance of the game now. I really like it. And in the other map, it looks horrible, but at least it runs very smoothly. God, please don't tell me he's down here. I'm gonna hide. This darn monster. I don't know if he's here somewhere. So I don't know if through the live stream it looks laggy, but on my end it's very smooth. It's very a connected feeling. It doesn't feel laggy and choppy like before whenever I didn't optimize the textures. So let me see the cards. I just want to test the cards more without getting killed by the monster. I actually wanted to test another map, not the same one, but let me just go ahead and see, where am I? Oh, if I'm here, then let me go down here. Alright. So no cards there. It's a very dark hallway. Kind of creepy. Go this way. There's a room there. No card in here. This room is... oh yeah. Okay, never mind. That's just the stairways. Let's go back up. So let's go explore here. See if we can find a card. We need cards. That's what we're trying to test here. Other than that, like if you look in the upper right, you can see the frames per second is 166, which is really nice. It wasn't like that before. It was like maybe 80 or 90. Because, again, the AI chatbots say that whenever you add anything with textures, like 3D models or just textures for whatever reason, you don't just start using them, which is what I did whenever I got these assets free from... oh, the monster. When I got these assets free from Unreal Marketplace, I just downloaded them and immediately added them to my game and just started using them in the editor, and that was probably one of the reasons why the game would take forever, because those textures were probably in their default original form, which is like 2K by 2K or 4K by 4K, because the developers who put those textures out, they want their product to look the best, so they keep them in high quality, 4K or 2K. And so as the developer of your own game, you have to be the one to adjust those textures to like 512 by 512, so that your game, it may look awesome with the 4K textures, but it probably would bog down the system, especially if it loads into memory, all of those 4K textures. So, see anything in here? So I don't know where this monster is at, so I'm gonna have to just hide every time. Oh yeah, I was like, why am I down here? I was looking for cards to pick up while trying to avoid this monster. Sounds like he's up here somewhere. Then again, he could just turn the corner and then kill me, so I don't know. I do have spatial setting so that audio spatial, you can kind of sort of hear what direction the monster is. Alright, so let me see. This way, I'm going to go this way. Let me look for any, no cards in here. Eventually I'll get those doors working. Right now they're just placeholders. So you're gonna have to open and close the doors. Which is good because then, even though the monsters will be able to open it, they won't see you immediately if you're in the room. But yeah, eventually I'll do that. Not a big deal right now. Wanted to get some other things in. Where am I? Shoot. Let me go. I can hear stomping in the distance. Oh, here's a card. Alright, so if I pick this up, it should say the Emperor. Oh my gosh. He sounds like he's really close. I can't hide. I don't know where he's at. I can't hide between this door. Okay. Nice. So in the upper left, it does say Emperor, and it does show the Emperor card icon. Shoot, where is this guy? I don't know where I'm at. Let me see. I'm just going to keep going this way. So, oh, here's another card here. So, Two of Ignis. So, up in the upper left, it should say Two of Ignis whenever I pick this up. Okay, yeah. So, Two of Ignis. You hear the monster roar because now he's going to start chasing the Seeker. So we need to go find a third card so that we can recover it really fast and escape. I don't know which way he's coming from, but I can hear stomping. See, I don't know. He's already right here. Shucks. Darn it. Apparently he came from somewhere down there. 100% fail rate. Alright, so at least the 3 different iterations of those tests, it turned out that the card system works, the card loot system works nicely. So the only thing for the card loots right now is that I need to get rid of the padding on the sides of the cards, and I need to implement the rarity of the cards. So right now the most common cards are the rares, and then the not so common are the epics, and then the almost non-existent is the legendary cards. So I do have those already. You switch back, because I don't know if you can see. Alright, so if I go to the card textures, you can see that there are legendary. So this is what the legendary cards look like. They have the gold frame with a gold, with a legendary background image. But the ones that we were testing just now, they were just the regular rare cards. But, so I am quite shocked. I did end up fixing these textures. See, to run very smoothly in the game. They just look horrible. Unfortunately, I do not have any settings for the Seeker to adjust so that, if they have a higher end system, they can increase the quality of the textures, even though it may, decrease their frames per second. At least it'll be, I don't know, if their system is high enough, their frames per second probably won't drop that much. But like, if you want to run this game like I do on my older 2015 PC, then I need these really low quality textures, like blurry looking textures, and the higher frames per second in order to run the game smoothly on that older PC. But I think, let me see, it seemed really fine on the fourth map here. Because, I mean, the frames per second, let me see something. There is an option that you can turn on the okay, here, frames per second. Looks like 120 in the editor, but when we were testing it in the actual game, let me see, in the standalone game, it was 160, so that's pretty nice. So I may not need to adjust the textures of these here in this Rift, whereas in Rift 3, let me see what it, oh, okay, anyways, let me go. So Rift 3 now went back up to 120. If I look around, and what about Rift 2? Also 120 frames per second. That's just in the editor. And then Rift 1, the derelict spaceship, it's 120. I'm surprised. It looks nice. I wonder if it was these textures the whole time causing the whole entire game to be bogged down, the frames per seconds to be reduced to like 80 and 90, even though 80 and 90 is still higher than 60 frames per second, which I think 60 frames per second is the most common, because there's, the game is still runnable and playable at 60 frames per second. But if you have a higher refresh rate monitor or faster system, getting up to like 160 is nice. Wow, I guess that's it. I guess that's the only textures that I really need to fix, because again, I didn't feel any lagginess in whenever testing Rift 4, and I tested Rift 2 earlier. This is the most difficult Rift because it's so dark. You can't, there shouldn't be a flashlight, but you have a flashlight, and even the flashlight doesn't allow you to see 2 feet in front of you. And it's like really dark, but that's the emergent difficulty of the game. I don't want to add any kind of difficulty modes like hardcore or easy or normal. The difficulty will come from the actual monsters. Some monsters are really quiet, and some rifts, like this one here, is very dark, as opposed to like this rift, the walls are very bright, so even the slightest flashlight will bounce the light farther, and you'll be able to see further away than the Gothic dungeon rift here. Is like, even if you have a flashlight, it'll still be very hard to see 2 feet in front of you. But it seems like I don't need to mess with the textures here because the frames per second is really nice. Let me test it here. Okay, it's still 120, but see how dark it is even with a flashlight? You can't really see too far in front of you. You still can't see down the hallway too much because it's such a dark rift. The walls are dark. Even though the settings, the lighting settings are exactly the same as the other rifts. The flashlight setting is exactly the same. It's really dark because the walls are just dark. And eventually I'll add light fixtures like torches or something. Torches on the wall. So where is this monster? I can hear him getting closer. He has a very loud humming, droning sound. A low drone humming sound. So some of the monsters, you can hear them, and others are, you can't hear them until it's too late. Like they're too close already. So that alone just adds difficulty on its own, and I don't really need to add a difficulty mode. So whenever these rifts, these trials, randomly you enter a trial, they will give you random rifts and random monsters, and that alone will create the difficulty. Like again, this one is very, very dark. And then if you pair this rift, the very, very dark rift, with the whisper, that's even worse. The difficulty shoots up really high. It's extremely difficult to escape from that combination because you just don't know where he's at. And it's very dark. Okay, so I don't know where this monster is, but I feel like he might not be down here. Okay, I'm not going to go that way. I feel like it's going towards. And it seems to run smoothly. I don't know on stream if it looks like it's running smooth or not, but playing it, even though it's at 100 frames per second as opposed to like 166 from testing in the standalone editor, the playtest app. Alright, oh, okay, so I need to check this way. There you go, up and down this hallway to check all of the rooms, all of these dungeon cells. And see, is there any card? I still haven't found any cards down here. I don't even know where I'm at. Shoot. Need a. Okay, let me look at it. Look. Okay, so I can go down. I don't know if I can't remember if I'm on the. So let me see right now, because eventually in the game I will set it up where you just spawn in multiple different areas. One of the multiple different areas. Right now there's only a few places to spawn, so I can always try to get a sense of where I'm at by guessing at which spawn point. But in the future that will be like much harder to do, which that's supposed to be the case. So yeah, you don't just think, oh, if I'm here, then I just need to turn here and go straight over here, and then... so again, this map is the most difficult because these doors or gates are see-through, and the monster can't, and so you can't hide behind these. So it's already very difficult. So you gotta keep moving or keep running away from the monster. Hopefully he's not down here. It's so hard to see. But yeah, eventually I'll add torch fixtures on the wall so that provides some light. And this one, no. I'm gonna run down here. But I like... Whoa! Where is this guy? I don't know, I'm gonna run. He saw me, so he's probably behind me, but because it's so dark, we can't even see. You know what? I'm going up these stairs. I was gonna explore down there some more, but I don't know where he's at, so I'm just gonna run away from that area and go to the other part of the rift here. So at least I know he's down there. I should be able to explore up here in relative peace without the monster looming around the corner or something. So let's see, is there anything here? Still haven't found any cards. Interesting. Then again, I don't think I explored too much of the rift yet. Alright, which way to go? I'm gonna go up. So I know the monster was on the lowest level. You know what? I'm going to run through here, and usually you can see the glow of the cosmic cards. Yeah. There are just no cards up here. None of these rooms. Okay, fine. There are more areas of the rift of this dungeon to explore and try to find some cosmic cards. Which way? So dark you can't see too much farther ahead of you, so you really have to run around and look for it. So yeah, the Gothic dungeon is the most difficult rift to try to escape from. See? This is what I'm talking about. I don't know how to... There's a way to fix this, but you can tell there is a card nearby because it starts glowing all over the place. It's even through walls like this, which it shouldn't. But there's a way to fix that. I just don't know. I think you have to change the texture or something so that the light doesn't shine through it. But let me see if I can find that card. It's right here. Turns out it is the moon. Alright, so the moment of truth is if I pick this up, in the upper left corner, it better say the moon, and it better show this image in black and white. Let's see. Yes. So after 3 tests, that's not a lot, but 3 tests, turns out my card system is working properly. It should match the card in the 3D world that the seeker picks up should match the inventory UI. Is the monster up here? I can't tell. Because I remember he was all the way at the bottom before. Now he's... I wonder if he came up here. See? Nothing there. Where is this? Okay, let's go up here. Yeah, this is the last floor. But the cool thing is, at least it's still running at 100 frames per second. When it's in standalone mode, it was running 166 frames per second, which is what my monitor refreshes at. Here's another card. Alright, so it better say the Fool in the upper left corner. Oh, shoot. Okay, so... and it shows the black and white icon of the Fool. I'm going to run this way since it sounded like he came from that way. Let's see if I can find another card somewhere. Hopefully I don't run into this guy. Ah! Shit. He got me. Alright. Well, the card system works nicely after, and the textures seems to have been optimized a little because the frames per second stayed at 120 almost the whole time. The lowest I think I seen it fall was 100 frames per second. So I think I might have fixed the texture issues. The biggest culprit was this one here. These textures were the most highest quality. You can see all the pores in the walls. Now it's so blurred. I think I overdid it. Maybe I want to change it back to at least 1024, maybe. I don't know if it'll mess with the frames per second, but I don't know. For now, it's very, very smooth now. It doesn't stutter or feel like there's something that is loading in the background all the time. Alright, so other than that, the only other thing that I need to do are all of these monsters are high quality, have high quality textures on them. And every time you get too close to them, they bog the system down because their textures are so high quality. Especially like this guy here. All of this stuff is really, really high quality. These are directly from Epic Games themselves, and you know, I guess they give you the highest quality. And you can use them in your games. So let me look at that. It's because it's a moving texture as well. So that's pretty cool. But if I were to open this, we can probably see. Yeah, you can see it's animated as well. So maybe that's why it caused so much lag and choppiness in the system whenever this monster gets so close. So all of these really cool effects and stuff like that. Make sure this is regular. Okay, it's not, it's not, texture is fine at 1024. Maybe the animation causes it to 1024. Oh, here we go. This one is really high. This is going to cause problems. This is 4K by 4K, and look at it. The resource size is 21 megabytes alone. It's got 13 MIPS. Wonder if I... So if you change the options here, it doesn't change the original file. I don't think anyways, so you can just undo it. So if I go back, max texture size 1024 instead of 512. It reduces it to 1 megabytes instead of 20. What was it? 21 megabytes resource size. But let me reduce it to 1024. Now it's only 1 megabytes, and it reduces that. So let me change the level detail to 2. See, even smaller. And it's 85. Wow, 85K. That's tiny. Hopefully the quality won't be that bad because all of the others are still kept. Dun, dun, dun. All right. What about this? Yikes. Do we really need 4K by 4K? No. Move it back to 1024. Level of detail 2 bias. Save that. Apply. Oh, apparently I don't need to apply it. Did I save it? Because if I did, why did it not update here? Oh well. Guess it doesn't need it. So hopefully that reduced some. I suppose I can go look at these textures. Alright. Imported is 4K. Displayed is 20 by 2K by 2K. We'll only need about 1024. And level 2, we could just say 2. So it's even smaller. Apparently don't need to apply changes, so. Alright, and then what about this? This one here is just a color. This one. So let's do this one first. And see what this texture is. It's 4K. Oh my goodness. Now I see why this, what is it though? It's like checkerboard? Oh, it's just so huge. Alright, so you have to zoom out to see the whole texture. So let me down to 1024 level of detail bias 2. So it's really tiny, but At least the resource size is also tiny. And whenever the seeker gets too close to this monster now, it shouldn't cause lagginess and choppiness, which prevents the seeker from reacting quickly, because their graphics are still trying to catch up to show just this little detail of the texture on the monster. So it doesn't need to be 4K. Alright, so there's that. Let me go ahead and apply the change. Save it. So it's really cool. It has the animation. But hopefully it'll still have the animation. It'll just be way less in resources. So this 1024 by LOD2 and 1024 by 2. Another thing they said is to change this to character. This is already character because it's meant for like animation and all that kind of stuff. So this texture group is good for that. Character normal map. This is a normal map, so just leave it to that. Others should be just character. This is the weapon. And this is a world normal map. We'll just leave those. The next thing is this one here. It's already 1024, so that's good. We'll leave that, and it's a special effect. Oh, this is what is causing the animation right there to move up. Looks like it's firing. Looks like it's burning, so that's cool. Nice. So that's that texture. You can leave that alone since it's already power of 2, plus it is already at a low. How do I turn off the it's in here? I go FPS. Alright. Did I turn off everything else? Don't need it. Closing it. Alright. Alright, so that one is already low. What is this? What is this? And this? This is a texture that is at 4K. Do not want that. So 10, 24, LOD2. Nice. That's so much better. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Got that. Save it. Make sure it's saved. Apply it. Apply the changes. Material layer blend. Whoa. Goes into all of this. Let me see if I connect. Oh, this is the one I just changed. Okay, cool. Alright, alright. So there's a few things up here. What is this one? Let me go ahead and see. 4K by 4K, don't need that. maximum texture size 1024 by 2, level of loud bias 2. Save that, and then apply. Save it. This is just a color. This one is a texture that I 4K do not want. 1024 by LOD 2. Save that. Alright. So that one's reduced. Apply. Oh, don't need to apply. This one. Dang it. These textures are the culprit this whole time. That's why my system was bogging down so much. It's because they were all so high. Don't need it that high. Especially I'm not trying to create a AAA game. Alright, so we got that. Apply. What about this one? Oh my gosh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't believe it's been 4 hours since I took my last. I was taking Dayquil liquid gel caps. It's already been 4 hours. Can't believe it. So I already did that one. What about this one? 4K by 4K needs to be reduced to 1024 at LOD 2. And that's pretty decent still. Okay. Do, do, do. Looks like that's it. Can close this. Make sure save all. Close all of these. And bum, 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 bum. This is already low. This one, it's already reduced. This is just a color. This one did, I don't know if I reduced this one. Looks like it did, it looks familiar. Yeah, 2 and 1024. So, there's that. Next one, what is this? 1024. This one is, okay. Elephant skin. Right. 1024 here. I mean, 4K by 4K, and change it to 1024. Change this to 2. Save it. Alright. And then apply. Oh, wow. As you can see, the texture definitely changed, but still, it's pretty good. Still looks very decent. Alright. I will close this. Look at these. Texture object. 4K. Oh my gosh. All of these textures. think what I'm going to do is just apply. Didn't I just change this one? Yeah, it's the same one. Don't know why it's here and here. But I only need to change this one and this one left. So let me click on that. Convert it to 1024 with LOD2. Save it. Next, this one. It's 4K by 4K. Maximum texture 1024 by LED2. Oh, that's really small. My goodness, you can't see anything. Like, what is the purpose if you're just gonna have that small? We can still see the effects and stuff. Oops, we first need to apply. What the heck? I guess if you save it, automatically applies. Apply changes to original material and its user in the world. Oh, to the original? Yikes, I didn't know. I didn't think it does that, but apparently it changes the original. I mean, it's fine. This is really ridiculous at 4K. And my non-AAA game, it's just like an F- quality. At least it's playable, like Pac-Man or something. Alright, so that's it for this. We will apply and save. Close all this. Mm, 1024, okay. This one, didn't we do this before? There's a round circle in there. Yeah, this one has already been adjusted. Same here, 1024 and 2. Uh, 1024. Okay. You know what? I think these have already. Yeah, this looks familiar. It's already 1024. Okay. What about this one? See, this is just a color. Let me see. Nope. So let me change this. 1024 and 2. This is just a color. I think I did this before, but let's see. 1024. I mean, it's 1024 anyway, so we can leave it. What about this? I haven't done this one. Yeah, it's 4K by 4K. Don't need it that high. 2. So much going on in this. Alright, so we got this, it's still, even with 1024 and LOD2, it's still like 1 megabytes in resource size. This must be a really, really, really complex texture. Right. What is this? 2048 can be reduced to 1024. LOD of 2. Save. What's this? 4K by 4K. Reduce it to 1024. LOD of 2. Right. Let's move this aside. Let's get this one. 4K by 4K, 1024. 2. Save that. This one. So 1024 and 2. Anything more? Now here, right here, these 3. Oh, I did these already. Okay. 1024 2. Yes, save. Apply. And I think I did these 2 already over here somewhere. I think they might be the same. Let me see. 4K 1024. Yeah. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, the really complex one. And then this one. The same one. Okay. Alright, so this is done. For this monster. Oh, shoot. I will be right back. I have to take that medication. It's been 4 hours since I took it last time. Oh, it's like taking horse pills. They're so huge, but I'd rather just take um, just the liquid form of it. I was taking Dayquil, liquid gel caps. I like those, but they're so huge. But I prefer just the liquid form, not the gel cap form, but just the liquid, because they coat my throat whenever I'm taking that medication. Anyways, so anything else needs to be adjusted. I think I did this. Nope, I didn't, or else it would fully load on screen. So that I don't remember seeing this folder. So let me see. Again, 4K can be reduced to 1024 with LOD of 2. And you still have some nice special effects on it, so that's good. So there's this one, 1024 already. So we'll just leave that. And what is this? 1024, it's already adjusted. Don't know what this is. It's already tiny at 512 by 512, so don't need to adjust this. Source alpha detected, undetect. What does this mean? I don't want to mess it up if you know, I have to click on this. What does it do? Gosh, I hope it doesn't mess anything up. If I click on detect, undetect. What happened? I feel like it looks fine. Animation's working fine. Okay. Well, it is what it is. I just did that. 4K can be reduced to 1024. LOD of 2. Save it. Yikes. Whenever I take that medication, even though it's Dayquil, it makes me feel sleepy. So I might have to log out soon. Let's just finish this up really quick. Oh, I already did this one. Okay, they reused that texture. And what about oh yeah, this one we did it earlier. These are just colors. Color. Oh, that's it. So we just apply these, save it. Limbs. Right. Limbs, cloth. Right. They're all the same material, so this should be the last of the last. 4K by 4K can become 1024. LOD of 2. Save. Save all. So hopefully this will really significantly improve performance whenever you run into the monster. Because now it won't bog the system down with 4K textures. And that's just this monster. There's the other monsters too are really high, have high quality textures like these 4K textures. That's really not necessary. It's only for marketing and so they can sell this product to you. But this one you got for free. And still it's very high quality. So we could just... So that's what the AI chatbots were saying, that whenever you get textures, you always prep them properly with the options and settings that you want for your game. So if you want the 4K, then leave it and just start using it. But in my case, I don't need 4K. So we got this 1024, LED 2, save, apply. Okay, no, don't need to. And last but not least here, we 1024 this, and LOD 2 this. Save it, apply. And that should be it for this monster anyways, because those are the only materials that this monster uses. So let's see. I mean, it still looks decent. Doesn't... We can still see the animations. So it still looks decent, even though we reduced a lot of, like, the cloth looks a little pixelated now, but it still looks pretty good. Even though we zoomed into the hand, it looks very high quality still. Or is it because I didn't do the hand? I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I did these. Yeah, I did these. I definitely did, because the 4K now is 1024. So this monster still looks pretty decent, even with the reduction of the textures from 4K to 1024. Post-process animation blueprint. Grux NM blueprint is running. Post-process modifies curves. Okay, never mind. There's all of this down here. So, wow. It looks nice still, even though I reduced everything. Hopefully, it runs nicely in game. Let's just test it really quick before I feel like I'm going to... Even though it doesn't say drowsy, makes you drowsy, the medication kind of does that to me. Okay, so the first monster is the beast. That's what we want. So we want 0 to 0. And then... that's pretty much it. What map are we on? The third map. So let's open this one. Is it going to open? Okay, here we go. We just compile. And is it compile? Okay, it took 4 milliseconds, which took forever, which feels like forever. Alright, and then we can recast, delete that, build all, and then save all. What is today? It's just a Tuesday. Okay, so now let's test this specific map with that specific monster. Alright, everything is low. Monster's here somewhere. And so we go and run up to him and see if where did he go? Oh, I see him, I see him. I gotta catch up to him before he disappears. Shit, I already lost him. You're kidding. Where? Ah. You have got to be kidding me. I lost this guy. Okay, I see him right here. See, it's not giving me that error anymore. Whenever I used to get close to this guy, it would always say texture streaming pool error or over limit or something like that. But now getting close is really, it doesn't mess with the memory, so that's pretty good. So that is another significant reduction in memory load. So it should make the game run even more smoother with all of these blurry textures and these reduced quality monster textures. Alright, so that's nice. Just running all over the map. Alright. So that monster is good on textures. Let me see the other monsters. I think I'll just work on the other monsters because I'm really feeling that medication. Again, it's just Dayquil. Dayquil is not supposed to make you sleepy or anything. But for me, for some reason, Dayquil has always done that. And then when I take NyQuil, I instantly fall asleep. I don't know why it makes me sleepy so fast. So, anyhow, but they work nicely for me. I like them. Alright, so these texture preps, that's pretty much it. I mean, I learned about the texture prep from working on these the cards here. And so, yeah. So I thought, maybe that's why I'm having so much like texture streaming problems with the regular hallways and rooms, is because I never prepped these textures. I simply just downloaded them from the marketplace or fab.com and just directly installed them into my game and started using them, and not realizing they were 4K by 4K, which would bog down the system, because what the game engines have to do is they have to take it from the hard drive and save it into the memory and load it into memory so that you can start playing the game. But imagine if those were 4K textures, they would take up so much memory space, and if you don't have a lot of memory space, then it could bog down your GPU graphics and make it feel like your game is choppy and stuttering and slow, and always feels like something is loading in the background even though you don't know what. So that's what you have to do. You have to prepare textures. And so now I learned my lesson. Whenever I download anything new and I add it into my game, I have to, look into the textures and update them to make sure that they're not like, oh my goodness, this one is 8K at 43 megabytes resource size. No. I wasn't planning on doing this yet, but I'm just going to do it right now. Does not need to be no 8K. And I remember too, whenever I would run up close to this, whenever this monster would run up close to the seeker, it would always give that error, that texture streaming pool error. Because it's at 8K by 8K, my goodness, that's not necessary in my non-AAA game. And wow, it's a good thing I checked this thing. Let me go ahead and do this one. Also 8K, are you serious? Okay. So this would significantly reduce, I don't think it'll reduce the texture quality that badly, but it would reduce the lag. Whenever I would always run close to this is why, and not because I was trying to avoid the monster, but because I was trying to avoid memory overload because it's trying to load everything. It's really high 8K by 8K textures into memory. So it's already set to character, so that's good. Is it using sRGB? Yes. sRGB character. In fact, let me go to the actual monster. So its quality is really, really high quality here. Can't remember, its eyes are here somewhere. Can't remember where exactly. I think, is this the eyes? No. It's really high quality textures in here as well, which you can't really see. So it doesn't need to be all that high quality. It doesn't need to be 8K by 8K. I guess this is the eyes. I thought the eyes were smaller than that. Well, I guess. Alright, so let me click on the. So that apparently it only has these two materials, but then those materials might have many textures within them. Let me see. Yeah, it has all of this, so let me click on that. Apparently it's the one that I did already. Let me click on that. Again, 8K by 8K does not need to be that, so change this down again, save it. Click on this, 8K by 8K, become 1024. I didn't realize this was the big culprit, this monster. It looks, no wonder it looks really, really cool in game. It's really highly detailed. But now, catching these and converting these into lower settings should be very big, significant reduction in lag and a significant increase in performance, even though it may not look as good. But it's still so detailed that it should look fine. Let's see. Alright, so we save this. So we got these 1024. Last but not least, that I can see anyways, is this one here. I think I did that already. Yeah, that was the first one I did. So 1024 by 2. Alright, so we go back. And that was just one of the materials. Save it. Go back. Yeah, even though I did all those changes, it still looks nice. Still looks very detailed. See these bumps and all? They were way, way, way detailed. You could get really close or this far and you would still see the details. But even just like this, it's still good. Alright, so that was the body. Let's see what the tentacles and claws. This one, 8K, or it's still 4K by 4K. It's still pretty high. Reduce that. This one. This is the roughness metallic specular. Reduce that to 1024 as well. By LED 2. This one. It's a normal map. From 4K to 1024. with LED of 2. And last but not least, this, which is 4K down to 1024, LOD 2. Alright, so that's it for that. Still seem to be decent looking. If we go in, yeah, you can't really see the difference. So now it should run way better though than before. 43K, 43K, 85K, 43K, 85K, 43K, 43 and 43. We can close all that. Pile. What monster is the kraken now? Wow. Guess I had the whisper before the kraken. That doesn't make sense, but okay. I could have sworn I had the kraken before. Oh no, I downloaded the kraken long ago, but I never added it. And I added it to the game. I just never added it as a monster in the game. Not until after the whisper, and I was like, you know what, maybe I can probably add more monsters that I have in here. And that's when I saw the kraken. Okay, so the kraken is 3. So let me change this to 3. Compile. Test proc calls 3. And save. Rebuild everything. Save. Let's see. Oh, I just saw him run past. Oops, something happened. Frames per second dropped. Wonder if it's the monster doing this. Where is this monster at? I don't believe it. I can't find this monster. Might have to click on it this way. No. Usually it should say AI 0. So there's not even that. I wonder if there's something else causing this frames per second drop. There he is. He's really fast. Even this camera cannot move this fast. Alright, anyhow. Don't know what's causing that. Let me stop this and test it in a standalone. Hmm. 1 second. Oh, your system is running low on memory. Alright, let me see. Playtest. Huh. Where is it? I actually don't know where. Okay, here it is. I don't know why I did that. It showed just the editor. Okay, here. You should see it now. Try stats FPS. Yeah, the frames per second is low here too. I wonder if it's the monster itself. Oh, it just automatically jumped. Oh, now it fell back down. Wonder if it's still loading something or what. It went back up to 166 and then it fell back down to 24, and now it's back up to 40, and now it's back down to 20, 15. I wonder what's causing this. I might have to learn about Unreal Insights and auditing textures and all that kind of stuff, but even though I adjusted the textures, oh, it spikes up and down, so it must be something where it's loading something about the monster or something else in this rift, because now it's at 11 frames per second. Well, I'm gonna have to let me see if I try to run. Yeah, it's not smooth, and that's just walking. It looks like it's taking forever to load the textures as I'm running through this hallway. I don't like that feeling when playing a game, so I definitely have to look for... Ooh, it's doing it again. When it spikes to like 14 frames per second. It really looks choppy and stuttery. Alright. I don't know what else it could be. Bum, bum, bum. Let me see. Switch back. Go to Kraken. Maybe it's animations. I don't know. Materials. I think I did all the textures, but still something else. Might be the master materials and stuff like that. No, it's just this. Nothing is selected. Tentacles are just this. material instance. It's just this. Animation sequence, physics asset, and skeletal mesh. I wonder if there's a way to optimize the skeletal mesh. Maybe they are, but I will look at that some other time. I just want to do textures right now. That is interesting. Let me try something else. Let me see. If I go back here. 0. Let me test this one again. Recompile. So this one is the beast. So the beast now with this rift. Let me turn this off for now. Recompile this level. Save it. See how it plays. Whoops. I just turned it off and now I'm going to turn it back on. At least it doesn't drop that low, so I don't know what happened. Maybe I gotta clear the memory or something, I don't know. It fell back low to 70 and 60. Still it's playable, but I don't know what happened. It was running at, I think, 110 before, 100. Where's this monster? Still there's no AI. I see him clipping through the walls. It's one way. Other than that, there's usually an AI that spawns AI control. Oh, here we go. So we can see where he's at. And I can hear him down here somewhere. I think he's down here somewhere. I forget it. I'll just click on this. Nope, that didn't work either. So he's completely invisible. I think that's a bug. Let me see if I can go back. sounds like he's above me or below me, I don't know. The frames per second don't seem to drop too low. Not like with the other monster. The kraken, it dropped to like 10, 15. Well, okay, so I am, let me see. Anyhow, I do like how I fixed, not fixed, because it doesn't look, it looks blurry, but at least I fixed the frames per second and it runs a little bit better. Performance wise, it runs better, if not quality wise. The visual quality doesn't look the best, but at least I got it running nicely. Now I just need to figure that one. I don't know if it's has something to do with the kraken itself. Maybe there's other things other features other than the textures of the kraken that reduces frames per second and makes the system have to load. Because there's other things, I guess, like audio, as well as probably, I don't know, maybe the 3D model itself and the animations also cause frames per second, or the game to take forever to load. So who knows? But other than that, I think I got some really good progress down with the textures. And that's pretty much it for me right now. Let me change some of these back so that, But thank you guys for hanging out for a bit. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye.